You don't need more confidence, you need more reps. Confidence, self-esteem, all these things associated with self-concept, self-respect. You don't gain these things by focusing on those things. So you don't gain confidence by focusing on confidence. You don't gain self-esteem by focusing on self-esteem. It doesn't work that way. The way you gain confidence is by increasing your skill. Because if you don't increase your skill, what are you being confident in? Is that just arrogance without anything to back it up? You can be arrogant and really highly skilled, sure, but you can also be really, really arrogant and not have the skill to back it up. That is not productive. So if you want to increase your confidence, the point is to be more clear, more definitive about what it is that you're actually trying to accomplish. And this is really difficult to do as an individual task, which is why I so often emphasize the idea of really digging deep into what do you want to achieve, who do you want to be, define those things, define what you want to accomplish, define the person that you want to be, and then through values-based goals and value-based character development, you can then define the behaviors that you need in order to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Then your daily decisions will be easy because you've already said, I want to be this. Well, then you naturally have a whole bunch of things that you have to do, and you naturally have a whole bunch of things you don't get to do anymore. It's clarity by subtraction. You refine, and then you don't even have to worry about those daily decisions because you have already decided what it is that you want to accomplish. And so when you go through this process, the confidence just shows up naturally because you are going through the struggle, you are defining what you want to accomplish, and then you're going about your business accomplishing it. That builds confidence. Now, there is a potential problem here in that as you grow, you're constantly looking at the next thing, which is good, but there also needs to be an attempt to stop, reflect, and give yourself credit for what you've accomplished up to this point, because otherwise it just feels like you're constantly spinning and you're never really accomplishing things because you're not taking a moment to reflect on, here's a goal that I set and I actually accomplished that. Here's the behaviors that I wanted to demonstrate in order to show the kind of person I wanted to be. And over the last week, I have demonstrated those things. This is really common with people that I know that are in school. Even though you can see a light at the end of the tunnel, sometimes it's a really long tunnel. And that light just doesn't seem to move as fast as you would want it to. Well, that's where you sit and you do your review. Okay, this is where I am. This is where I'm going. These are all the things I need to accomplish along the way. And then as you accomplish certain classes, as you get through certain terms or certain semesters, or maybe you accomplish a 2-year degree on your way to a 4-year degree, mark those things off and give yourself credit for what you have accomplished, while also looking continually down the road of, okay, what's next? What's the next step? Conversation with a really good friend of mine who is in school right now, and they have now less than a year to complete their original goal. And that goal in and of itself is a significant accomplishment, and they could stop their education, get a job doing that thing, and then moving on and be very successful. And that would be okay. But through this process of self-awareness and developing goals and then following through and challenging themselves, what they realized is that goal was significant, but it wasn't enough. They knew over time they weren't going to be satisfied achieving that one and then stopping with that career. They wanted a little bit more. They wanted a little bit more education. They wanted a little bit higher title. And that's not for everybody, and that's okay. But for this person, they decided that if they were to look back 15 years from now, they just knew it wasn't going to be good enough. They knew. They wished they would have gone further. And so therefore they've decided on this higher goal that not only is it another goal beyond this current one they're going to accomplish later this year, but it drove them to do that much better because it was going to require much better grades, much better habits. It was going to require them to be more involved in the community, be a more well-rounded person, because in order to get to this next level, there was going to be a refinement, right? It's that reverse funnel of only few people are going to be selected, even though most people that are applying are really, really good. And then whether you're talking about medical school, law school, I can think of a whole bunch, but you get my point, is the original goal was now not going to be the end goal. There was going to be more. And so through this process, tying this back to the original idea of struggle and skills is what develops your self-confidence. The confidence this person has built up is phenomenal. They are a completely different person than they were 5 years ago, even 2 years ago. Completely different person. They're still growing, they still have struggles, they still have challenges, and they always will, but that's the point. It's enjoying the process of growing and learning and challenging yourself. But you don't gain self-confidence by focusing on self-confidence. So another individual, an example, is a young teenager. Had a significant amount of friends and seemed like they were on the path to doing well, and then hit junior high school and started struggling, started having conflict with friends, started missing out on certain friendships because things were changing, just naturally flowing. It wasn't anybody's fault, it's just how life works. And this person started struggling, started withdrawing, and found some friends that were not healthy for them. There was a lot of self-loathing, there was a lot of complaining, and there wasn't really any attempt to grow self. And so the confidence shrunk. I wouldn't say disappeared, but it shrunk. And through some conversations, what we realized was they just didn't have anything challenging them. So they would go to school, they would do their thing, getting decent grades when they used to get good grades, missing assignments when they were very very meticulous about turning in their assignments and following through on responsibilities, snapping back, arguing, you could just see the downward spiral happening. And so we started having conversations. We didn't snap back, but we did very firmly say, this is no longer acceptable. You can't do this. You can't act like this. You can't treat people like this. We are going to help you figure this out, but ultimately you have to do something about it. So we provided the standards and the accountability and basically said, if you don't make some choices, we're going to make some choices for you, and encouraged him to make the choice because we didn't want to make the choice. The self-confidence needs to be self-built. You can provide the opportunity, but ultimately it's the individual's responsibility. And so he's made some choices, made some decisions, and we're going to work on following through on those. It's not going to be an immediate impact. It's not a quick fix. We're not looking for quick fixes. We're looking for long-term solutions, because that's how skills are built. That's how confidence is built. So I encourage you to do some self-reflection. If there are some areas where you could work on that might help build your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your self-concept of who you are, who you think you are, who you could be, take little steps. If you're you're good on the confident, and maybe you just need a boost, you need a bigger challenge, then jump into the deep end and make those things happen. But you don't build self-confidence by focusing on self-confidence. You don't build self-esteem by focusing on self-esteem. There has to be some kind of challenge that develops your skills, that provides you an opportunity to go out, learn, grow, develop. The confidence and the self-esteem will follow.